On the left side here, you see the game setup. On the right side, on the left side, you see the tally sheet, and we're going to start putting the letters here for each group and the number of seats. So here we go. And so we're over here now, and the first group that shows up in phase one are 100 sales representatives. Now you may decide to grab all 100 of the, well, you have to grab either all of them or none of them, but let's just go and say that I did pick group A, sorry, and that's for 100 seats. Okay. You may or may not want to do that. Again, I'm just kind of pick that first group just to kind of just to kick off the filling out the tally sheet. All right, you have 5 more seconds to decide on that. And at this point, I'm going to go through each of these phase one slides, and I'm going to give you, just about 10 seconds to decide whether you want to pick the group or not. Group B, 60 professors at $200 per passenger. I'm going to pass on that group. Group C, 25 MBAs at $150 per passenger. I'll pass on that group. Group D, a 5-person family at $300 per passenger. I think I'll take that group. Group E, 45 conventioners at $180 per passenger. Group F, 35 conventioners at $300 per passenger. Group G, 70 sports writers at $350 per passenger. Group H, a 20-person high school basketball team at $300 per passenger. Group I, 40 high school band members at $275 per passenger. Group J, 80 government officials at $390 per passenger. Group K, 25 marketing managers at $450 per passenger. 15 golfers at $325 per passenger. 10 nurses at $275 per passenger. 40 Republican congressmen at $450 per passenger. 45 club vacationers at $375 per passenger. 20 hernia patients at $300 per person. Sold by the way, is a hospital that specializes in hernia operations. Okay, that's it for phase one. So now you could think about this as being about less than 2 weeks before the flight takes off. And now we're getting the last minute passengers. And again, I'm going to go through. You're going to see these are labeled by number. And we're going to pick the ones that you want. They have a higher revenue and a smaller group sizes, generally speaking. Five business people at 875 per passenger. I think I'll pick that. One over here is 875. I'm sorry, at five. One CEO at $1,000. I think I'll pick the CEO. Four IBM executives at 850 a passenger. Two last minute passengers at $1,500 per passenger. Ten airline passengers from another oversold flight. I think I'll pick them. Eight travel agents at $875 per passenger. $11 sales managers at $900. Eight passengers from another flight, $1,300 per passenger. Two CEOs running up to the plane at departure. Okay, now before I go into phase three, where we actually see what happened here, notice that in my case, I ended up booking a total of 121 passengers, about 20% over the amount, and perhaps that was my goal, and I wanted to avoid being well over. But if, it's probably about a 50% chance that I'm overbooked or underbooked, given the average of a 20% oversell rate. I'm sorry, no show rate. But in any case, I'm not sure if I made great decisions. I probably didn't, but let's see how well I did. All right, so here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each of the groups, and if you don't have the group listed, you don't take any action at all. If you do have the group listed, you want to write down the number of seats used and the revenue. Okay, so 70 of the sales reps showed up, so I'm going to put 70 and $19,250. You notice that I've got the spreadsheet set up so the calculations will be automatic. 50 professors show up at $10,000. I didn't have that group, but if you did, write that down, the 50 and the 10,000. At this point, I'm just going to, wait about 10 seconds for each slide. If you do have the group, write it down. If you don't, just ignore it. feel like I should be playing some Hawaiian music in the background. Okay, we're to the last minute people here. I only have two of the five businessmen show up, so I'll write that down. Okay, so now I have to make a correction in the spreadsheet that you will have already made corrected. I forgot to put this calculation in, so let me just put that in here. I would just like to put um, formulas so that nothing shows up unless there's data in certain cells. Yeah, fine. All right, so let's just make sure I got that right. 70, 75, and 8 is 83. So I only booked 83 seats in my case, and again, I overshot by about 20%, a little less than 20%, and I ended up underbooking. My total revenue was $28,500, my gross revenue from the actual seats. I had no oversold seats, but I had 17 undersold seats, and those undersold seats cost $200 a piece as a penalty. So my total cost was total revenue was, oops, that's a mistake. Let me fix that.